There comes a moment in every life when illusion collapses and truth stands naked before you. That moment is when you realize that no one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to save you from your delays, your fears, your excuses, or your wasted potential. This realization is not cruel, it is liberating. Because the moment you stop waiting for help, you step into ownership. And ownership is the birthplace of greatness. From childhood, many are conditioned to wait. Wait for permission. Wait for approval. Wait for someone stronger, smarter, richer, or more connected to arrive. But destiny does not respond to waiting, it responds to responsibility. Life does not reward intentions. It rewards preparation. The world does not bow to desire. It yields to discipline. When you accept that no one is coming, you stop blaming circumstances. You stop pointing at systems, backgrounds, parents, governments, or enemies. You realize that the greatest obstacle was never outside you, it was the refusal to rise. Responsibility is the highest form of freedom because when you accept responsibility, you gain authority over your future. Building yourself is not glamorous work. It is often invisible. It happens in silence while others sleep. It happens in seasons when applause is absent and encouragement is rare. But construction always precedes manifestation. Nothing valuable appears fully formed. Everything that lasts is built deliberately, patiently, and intentionally. You were not created to be carried, you were created to carry purpose. Waiting weakens vision, but action strengthens clarity. As you build yourself, your character, your skills, your mindset, you begin to attract opportunities instead of chasing them. Growth changes what you tolerate, what you pursue, and what you become. No one is coming to discipline your habits. No one is coming to sharpen your thinking. No one is coming to protect your future. That responsibility belongs to you. And the moment you accept it, you stop being a victim of life and become a steward of destiny. The greatest transformation happens when you stop asking, who will help me? And start asking, what must I become? Because the world does not respond to need, it responds to value. When you build yourself, you increase your value. And when value increases, doors open naturally. This is not a message of isolation, it is a message of empowerment. Help may come later, but it comes to builders, not beggars. Support follows structure. Assistance follows initiative. But it never comes to those who refuse to stand up first. So stop waiting. Stop hoping someone will notice your pain. Stop expecting rescue. Rise, build, prepare, develop. Because no one is coming, and that is exactly why you must. Responsibility is the foundation of authority. Without it, power becomes noise, leadership becomes manipulation, and influence becomes temporary. Authority is not something that can be demanded, borrowed, or inherited. Without responsibility, it must be earned through ownership. The moment a person refuses responsibility, they surrender authority over their life. The moment they accept it, they begin to govern their future. Many people desire authority but avoid responsibility. They want influence without discipline, results without effort, and recognition without preparation. But authority does not respond to desire, it responds to weight. The weight of responsibility proves maturity, and maturity is what qualifies a person to lead, decide, command outcomes. A person who cannot manage themselves cannot be trusted to manage anything else. Responsibility begins with ownership. Ownership of decisions, actions, habits, and outcomes. When you accept responsibility, you stop blaming external factors for internal failures. You stop accusing people, systems, or circumstances of stealing what you never built. Responsibility removes excuses and replaces them with clarity, and clarity produces direction. Authority grows where clarity lives. True authority is first internal before it's ever external. A person who cannot control their emotions, time, words, or impulses will never sustain authority over people or environments. Self-governance is the first proof of leadership. Before anyone follows your voice, your life must demonstrate order. Disorder disqualifies authority because chaos cannot command trust. Responsibility also demands consistency. Authority is not built in moments of excitement, but in seasons of discipline. It is built when no one is watching, applauding, or rewarding. People submit to authority when they observe reliability. When your actions align with your words over time, credibility is formed. And credibility is the currency of authority. Those who avoid responsibility often feel powerless, not because they lack ability, but because they lack ownership. Powerlessness is the emotional consequence of irresponsibility. When you believe everything is happening to you, you feel trapped. But when you believe your choices matter, you feel empowered. Responsibility restores dignity because it returns control to the individual. Authority also grows through accountability. When you hold yourself accountable, you develop integrity. Integrity is what causes others to trust your leadership. Trust is the doorway to influence. People follow those who are accountable because accountability proves stability. An unstable leader cannot protect others. An authority exists to protect, guide, and preserve purpose. Responsibility requires courage. It is easier to blame than to build, easier to complain than to correct. Taking responsibility forces you to confront your weaknesses, adjust your strategies, and change your behavior. But this confrontation is not punishment, it is preparation. Authority is forged through self-correction, not self-denial. When responsibility is rejected, authority becomes fragile. Titles without responsibility collapse under pressure. Positions without discipline crumble in crisis. But responsibility creates endurance. A responsible person is not easily shaken because they understand their role, their limits, and their assignment. That understanding produces confidence, and confidence strengthens authority. Responsibility also creates growth. Every level of authority demands a higher level of responsibility. If you want greater influence, you must accept greater weight. Promotion is not a gift. It is an exchange. You exchange comfort for commitment, convenience for consistency, and ease for excellence. Those who refuse the exchange remain stuck. Ultimately, responsibility is the root system of authority. What roots are to a tree, responsibility is to leadership. The deeper the roots, the stronger the structure. Storms do not destroy trees with deep roots, and pressure does not break leaders who embrace responsibility. Authority is sustained not by force, but by faithfulness. When you accept responsibility, you step into your rightful position. You stop waiting for permission and start producing results. You no longer need to demand authority because your life speaks for you. Responsibility announces authority without words. And those who master responsibility will always carry authority, whether or not a title is present. Waiting delays destiny, not because destiny is fragile, but because it is designed to respond to movement. Purpose is activated by obedience to action, not by endless preparation without execution. Many lives remain unfulfilled, not due to lack of potential, but due to excessive waiting. For the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect support, or the perfect confidence, destiny does not require perfection, it requires participation. Waiting often disguises itself as wisdom, but prolonged delay is usually fear in a respectable outfit. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of responsibility, or fear of being exposed. Instead of confronting fear, people postpone action and call it patience. But patience is not inactivity. True patience works while it waits. Passive waiting erodes momentum and slowly drains purpose of its urgency. Every delay creates distance between intention and manifestation. Ideas grow stale when they are not acted upon. Vision weakens when it is not exercised. Just as muscles atrophy without movement, destiny deteriorates without engagement. What you refuse to start today becomes harder to begin tomorrow. Waiting makes the mind comfortable with stagnation, and stagnation is the silent enemy of purpose. Destiny unfolds in stages, and each stage demands obedience. When one stage is ignored, the next cannot appear. You cannot access future instructions while ignoring present responsibilities. Waiting interrupts progression because it resists the process. Purpose is revealed in motion, not in isolation. Clarity does not precede action. Clarity follows it. Many people believe destiny will arrive suddenly and dramatically, but destiny often arrives disguised as an opportunity that requires courage. Those who are waiting miss it because it does not match their expectations. Opportunity favors those already moving, already learning, already building. Motion sharpens perception. Those who walk see what those who sit cannot. Waiting also weakens confidence. Confidence is not something you wait to feel. It is something you build through action. Every small step strengthens belief in your ability to handle the next one. When action is delayed, self-doubt grows louder. The longer you wait, the heavier the step feels. Action breaks fear, delay feeds it. Time does not pause for hesitation. While you wait, life continues moving forward. Seasons change, opportunities shift, and windows close. Destiny has timing, but timing is not under your control. Obedience is. Missed seasons cannot be recovered, only replaced with lessons. Waiting costs more than effort, it costs potential. Waiting also creates dependency. Those who wait expect rescue, validation, or permission. But destiny responds to responsibility, not approval. When you move, resources begin to align. When you act, support appears. Help is drawn to initiative, not hesitation. Waiting keeps you small, movement expands capacity. Destiny is not a destination. It is a journey shaped by decisions. Each decision either advances or delays it. No decision is still a decision. Choosing not to act is choosing to postpone progress. Growth demands urgency, not anxiety, but a sense of responsibility toward time. Time is the currency of destiny, and wasting it is the greatest theft. Those who fulfill destiny are not those with the least fear, but those who refuse to let fear decide. They move while uncertain, act while imperfect, and build while learning. Momentum becomes their advantage. Direction becomes clearer with every step. Waiting delays destiny because destiny requires alignment with action. Purpose is not activated by wishing, but by working. When you move, destiny responds. When you delay, destiny waits, but it never waits forever. Self-development attracts opportunity because growth changes what you carry, and what you carry determines what you attract. Opportunities are not random events scattered across life. They are responses to value. The more you develop yourself, the more capable you become of recognizing, handling, and sustaining opportunity. Many people chase opportunities, but those who grow become magnets for them. When a person commits to self-development, they begin to increase their internal capacity. Capacity determines reach. A mind that is trained can see possibilities where others see obstacles. Skills sharpen perception, and perception opens doors. Opportunity often arrives quietly, disguised as responsibility or challenge, and only the prepared recognize it. Development refines discernment. Self-development also builds confidence, and confidence invites trust. People entrust opportunities to those who demonstrate competence and consistency. Confidence rooted in preparation is not arrogance, it is assurance. When you invest in learning, discipline, and character, you communicate reliability without words. Opportunity seeks safety, and preparation provides it. Many people believe opportunity comes first and growth follows, but the opposite is true. Growth creates readiness, and readiness attracts access. Opportunity does not exist to teach you who you should become. It exists to reward who you already are becoming. Those who neglect growth often sabotage opportunities they finally receive because they lack the structure to sustain them. Self-development changes standards. As you grow, you become selective. You no longer chase every opening, you discern alignment. Growth refines values and clarifies purpose. Opportunity that once impressed you may no longer fit you. This maturity protects destiny from distraction. Not every open door is meant to be entered, and development teaches discernment. Growth also increases influence. Influence is not demanded, it is granted. People listen to those whose lives reflect discipline, wisdom, and stability. Influence draws opportunity because opportunity thrives where impact is possible. A developed person multiplies what they touch. Opportunity prefers multiplication over maintenance. Self-development builds resilience. Opportunity often brings pressure, and pressure exposes weakness. A developed person does not crumble under demand because they have trained their mind, habits, and character. Growth strengthens endurance. Endurance sustains opportunity. What you cannot endure, you cannot possess. When you grow, your language changes, your posture changes, your decisions change. These changes are subtle but visible. The world responds to growth even when it is unannounced. Opportunity often comes through relationships, and people are drawn to those who are internally grounded and externally disciplined. Growth makes you approachable to the right. Connections. Self-development also removes desperation. Desperation repels opportunity because it signals instability. Growth produces security, and security attracts trust. A developed person does not beg for access, they qualify for it. Opportunity flows toward those who do not need it to validate their worth. Many people ask why opportunities bypass them, not realizing that opportunity is selective. It searches for vessels that can carry weight. Growth increases load-bearing capacity. The greater the opportunity, the greater the demand. Self-development prepares you for the wait before the door opens. Opportunity is not a reward for ambition. It is a response to alignment. When your skills, mindset, discipline, and character align, opportunity recognizes you. You stop chasing because you are positioned. You stop competing because you are prepared. In the end, self-development is an act of stewardship. It is honoring what has been entrusted to you. And when you steward yourself well, life entrusts you with more. Opportunity does not arrive to change you, it arrives because you have already changed. Discipline is a personal obligation because no one else is assigned to govern your life. It cannot be outsourced, inherited, or imposed permanently from the outside. External pressure may initiate change, but only internal discipline can sustain it. The moment discipline depends on supervision, it loses power. True discipline begins when no one is watching and continues when no one is rewarding. Many people expect motivation to carry them, but motivation is unstable. It rises and falls with emotion, environment, and circumstance. Discipline does not rely on feeling, it relies on commitment. Feelings respond to discipline, not the other way around. Those who wait to feel ready remain inconsistent, while those who act responsibly build momentum. Discipline is the bridge between intention and outcome. Everyone has intentions, but only the discipline produces results. Intentions are invisible, discipline is observable. Life responds to what you do consistently, not to what you promise occasionally. Without discipline, potential remains trapped in imagination. With discipline, even ordinary ability becomes exceptional. Because discipline is personal, excuses become irrelevant. You cannot discipline someone else's habits, thoughts, or time. Responsibility for growth rests with the individual. Blaming circumstances may comfort the ego, but it weakens progress. Discipline confronts reality and adapts. It does not deny difficulty, it overcomes it through structure. Discipline trains the mind to obey direction. The mind naturally seeks comfort, pleasure, and shortcuts. Discipline introduces order where the mind prefers ease. This internal order produces clarity. A disciplined mind can focus, prioritize, and execute. Without discipline, thoughts scatter, energy leaks, and progress stalls. Discipline also governs time. Time is the most democratic resource. Everyone receives the same amount daily, but discipline determines how it is used. Those without discipline spend time. Those with discipline invest it. Investment produces returns. Wasted time produces regret. Discipline gives time purpose. Personal discipline shapes character. Character is revealed not in public moments, but in private choices. What you repeatedly choose becomes who you are. Discipline ensures that choices align with values rather than impulses. Integrity is the byproduct of discipline, and integrity sustains trust. Trust expands influence. Discipline is not punishment, it is protection. It protects purpose from distraction, energy from waste, and destiny from delay. Structure is not restriction, it is freedom. When discipline is absent, chaos controls life. When discipline is present, direction emerges. Freedom without discipline becomes destruction. Discipline also prepares you for pressure. Life does not get easier as responsibility increases. It gets heavier. Discipline strengthens capacity to carry weight. Those who lack discipline collapse under demand, while disciplined individuals adapt and endure. Endurance qualifies you for greater responsibility. Many avoid discipline because it demands sacrifice. Discipline says no now to say yes later. It postpones pleasure to secure progress. This delay is not loss, it is investment. Sacrifice creates space for growth. Comfort, when chosen too early, becomes the enemy of advancement. Discipline must be self-enforced because life will not slow down to accommodate negligence. Opportunity does not wait for readiness. It rewards preparation. Discipline ensures that when opportunity appears, you are equipped. Readiness is not accidental, it is intentional. Ultimately, discipline is an act of self-respect. It is choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term relief. It is honoring your potential by managing your behavior. No one else can do this work for you. When discipline becomes personal, progress becomes inevitable, and when discipline is mastered, success becomes sustainable. Builders are eventually supported because progress attracts provision. Support does not arrive at the beginning of construction. It appears after commitment is demonstrated. Life responds to evidence of seriousness. Those who begin to build with consistency signal readiness for help, partnership, and expansion. Assistance follows initiative, not intention. Many people wait for support before they start. But support is rarely the cause of movement, it is the result of it. Builders move without guarantees. They invest time, effort, and discipline before applause appears. This early stage often feels lonely because construction happens in obscurity. But obscurity is not rejection, it is preparation. What is built in silence becomes strong enough to be sustained in public. Builders carry responsibility. They do not blame others for missing resources. They maximize what is already in their hands. This mindset attracts trust. People are drawn to those who steward small beginnings well. Support follows stewardship because it seeks safety. No one invests in what is neglected. No one supports what is abandoned at the first sign of difficulty. Consistency is the language builders speak. They show up repeatedly even when progress seems slow. This consistency separates builders from wishers. Many talk about vision, few demonstrate discipline. Over time, consistency becomes credibility. Credibility opens doors that talent alone cannot. Support is granted to those whose lives prove reliability. Builders understand timing. They do not rush demand for recognition. They allow growth to mature. Immature structures collapse under attention. Builders focus on foundation, knowing that height without depth is dangerous. Support arrives when the foundation can carry weight. Premature support can destroy what is not yet stable. Support often comes through people, and people respond to fruit, not frustration. When results begin to appear, even small ones' attention falls. Not because people are cruel, but because evidence builds confidence. Results validate vision. Builders let their work speak before they speak. This restraint strengthens authority. Builders also endure resistance. Resistance is not proof of error, it is proof of progress. Every meaningful structure faces opposition. Builders are not distracted by criticism because they are committed to construction. Over time, critics either become supporters or become irrelevant. Persistence filters relationships. Support does not always come in the form expected. Sometimes it comes as advice, sometimes as access, sometimes as opportunity disguised as responsibility. Builders recognize support even when it is inconvenient. Growth requires flexibility. Those who only recognize help when it is comfortable often miss it. Builders attract mentors, partners, and resources because growth is visible. Development cannot be hidden, even when unannounced. Effort leaves traces. The world responds to movement. Momentum creates visibility. Support is drawn to momentum because momentum signals life. Support also comes internally. As builders progress, confidence increases, skill improves, and clarity sharpens. Internal support becomes external attraction. Self-belief grows as evidence accumulates. This internal strength stabilizes external assistance. Builders are patient with the process. They understand that support delayed is not support denied. Timing protects destiny. What arrives too early can harm more than help. Builders trust the process because they respect growth. In the end, builders are eventually supported because they prove commitment to purpose. They do not demand help. They deserve it through discipline. Life partners with those who take responsibility for construction. When you build,